Hey there, so here's a little, just a thought, a way of making the Morse code. Not to say this is the best way or the only way or anything, but I have a little template here that's working. You can see I have a light here that's flashing on and off, and I have another one, or this is the photoresistor. And although the camera frame rate is a little bit odd, it's actually being driven by a random number. So either the light is on for half a second or it's on for a full second, and it's off for 1 second or 2 seconds. Okay, and my thought was, if I can discern the half second from full second on times, that would be like the dot and the dash. And then I wanted to discern the time off for 1 second versus 2 seconds as time between messages. So if you actually look at it in a plotter here, let me get this out of the way. What you see here, this is lights off. Okay, so this is a 1 second off. There's a 1 second off, 1 second off, 1 second off. And then here was a 2 second off. Okay, so this would be like a new message. New message. And then this is when it's on. So this is a full second on. There's a half second, so that's a dot, dash, new message, dot, new message, dash, dot, new message, dash, dash, new message. So you got the basic idea. This is all random, just to play with it to see whether or not it works. And of course it's running really slow so I can actually watch it. But what I do now is, here on code, this is actually just printing it with the plotter. But let me go ahead now and switch this over here. Okay, so now I'm going to run this function, and I'll talk about this function briefly. I should comment it. I'm happy to do so, and I can send it on. Or maybe I'll send this as it is, just as a teaser. But so this is what we're interested in right here. Okay, and this is, oh, let me take this, close that, and open up the serial monitor. And I might have to, oh, there we go. It's still going to work. Yep, okay. So there's a dot, dot, and then it was a new line. So here's what's happening. Okay, so it's reading. What it's doing is it's looking for when the light goes on. If the light goes on, the value drops. Okay, and then what it does is it takes a snapshot of the system time. I'm sorry, hold on, I'm jumping ahead. Let me go down here. Well, let's ignore this for just one moment. Okay, because I think it's probably easier. Just ignore this for the moment because it makes more sense at the end. Okay, so if it's less than 400, in other words, the light is on, then what it does is it delays for 600 milliseconds. The reason is that half a dot is 500 milliseconds. Okay, so we know the light went on, but if the light is off after 500 milliseconds, it must have been a dot. Okay. If the light is still on, okay, so in other words, it's still less than 400, well, then it's a dash. Okay, so now we can separate dots and dashes by simply looking for a time that we know it should have transitioned from dot to dash, and then asking whether or not the light is on or off. The other thing it does is after the light turns on, what it does is it grabs the system time and puts it in the variable stop clock. So now it knows a value of exactly how long the processor's been running. We have system time. So the next iteration, it comes up here, and what it's doing is it's looking again for when the light goes on. But in this particular case, it's looking to see if by chance the light has been off for more than 1,200 milliseconds. In other words, I'm now looking for the new word or new letter time. So now I know it's been off for more than a second. So therefore, I can print that time, and you see that right here as it's coming out. Okay, and then it discerns whether or not, and if it does, it makes a new line. Okay, so we get the new line, and then now we have a new word. So here was a dash, dash, dot, dot, and then we did get the period where it was longer than a second, so we get a new line. And on and on down the line. So again, this is random, but you could certainly send very specific ... Okay, so this is just one sort of teaser idea that you can look at, and I'll leave it at that, and I'll talk to you again soon.